Hello, everybody. It's John Ross. It's the John Ross Show for today, October 13th, 2025. It's a whole 65 degrees. What am I saying? 65 degrees outside, and that's what it was the other day, last Friday, too. So we're holding pretty much with fall temperatures right now in our Fox Valley area here. And so today we're going to talk about the Middle East and how that relates to our country. Yes, Trump's middle peace in the Middle East. What about peace with U.S. immigrants in cities? That's what we're going to talk about for a few moments here. Now, there's been a lot of news. I've been looking on CNN and other sites, and just a lot of action on the Middle East. Trump flew out to Middle East, I guess, last night, I guess. Well, anyway, he's been in the Middle East. He was in Egypt and spoke to their parliament in Tel Aviv and gave a long, understand it was an hour speech. Basically, he wanted to pardon, told the president there of the Israeli government to pardon Bibi Netanyahu. I thought that was interesting. Uh, a demonstrator or two in the parliament got kicked out by saying, "What about Palestine?" which is a good question. Those are Arab leaders in the Knesset. They do have some Arab leaders in there, which is good. And so there's the president later. He went to, I guess it's called Sharm el Sheikh. It's on the Red Sea, I think. I'm not sure. I know it's on the coast. That's all I know. Uh, I gotta get my better geography myself here. We're talking about geography here. And it's a resort city. And it's had a lot of peace things and other things before there. And there was a lot of leaders there. I think there was 20 some leaders there in Sharm el Sheikh, Egypt, and they signed an agreement. I, I basically, I think it's more of a ceasefire moving ahead toward a peace agreement. There's not really yet a peace agreement. So it's moving ahead. So Trump is credited, and a lot of people have credited him, and I think there is some truth to that. I think others have set the way for him. I think Biden and others have set the way for this. But he did do this, and I think he's got some. I'm going to be a little cynical on this show here, maybe a little, but he does have business interests there in the Middle East with Qatar and other countries. So that makes sense. The Qatar gave him a jet, a presidential type jet that some say is worth $400 million. They got to fix it up for about another 400 million, I guess. And then they gave him a, I don't know, it's technically a base, but that's what this Hex that said. The defense secretary said it was a base, and out west they were going to have, no, it's not a base, it's a training area. Well, anyway, they're going to be trained here from Qatar, and a few years ago they were considered more of a terrorist state. So now it's we're good with them, and so these kind of countries Trump has been with, we've seen his pictures in the Middle East, and I think that's where he went first. Was he's gone to the Middle East, so he's very well known in the Middle East, and Netanyahu maybe had to give in because Trump could do some threats with military aid and other things. So they got a peace deal, and we'll hear more about it. And I know we will. The hostages are back, which is a good rejoicing. And then the Palestinian, some prisoners were released, a big number. I think 1,700. It was a big number. And so some of them were even tried, convicted uh, people, and otherwise they were just picked up Palestinians. But there were some that had been convicted. So that's pretty big there. But I want to sort of backtrack here a little and say, what about, isn't Trump said he had a war with our cities now? I mean, he said our military was going to get training in the cities. How can he be a man of peace in the Middle East and not a man of peace with his own people? And the other day I had a story that he said in what day did I say that? Oh, it was on Sunday. I think it was on Monday or the previous Monday, maybe. I forgot now, but he called Democrats gnats that we have to brush off, he said. He's made other statements about Democrats that they're just communist, Marxist, other remarks like that. And maybe, I don't know if I think he might even said traitors, but he said a lot of things about, quote, his opposition. And then he's going after his opposition with courts. And then he's going after our immigrant community. Well, you say, well, if they're here illegally, they should be deported. Well, let's say if they are illegal, they shouldn't be thrown on the ground. They shouldn't be taken from their church settings or at the grocery store and just picked up because you have a brown skin or a black skin. You're just the wrong ethnic background. Why is Trump doing that? Obama deported quite a few, but he didn't. He did it more of a non-ruckus way. Why do we have to have troops and guys looking around with masks in our cities? Mr. Trump can change that right tomorrow, and we can have an immigration reform. And then maybe we could have some peace in our country. But maybe he wants to divide us. Is he a divider or a uniter? We'll find out soon here in the next months. I hate to say it, but I think he's more of a divider. He wants a division, and he wants to be the ultimate, quote, savior of people. And let's hope I'm wrong. Let's hope we can get a better Trump here. But his record is not good on our domestic front here. And we have to face it. And I know some church leaders are facing it. Our Catholic leaders are facing it. The Pope has said some things about immigration that are very good, encouraging. We got to keep up this fight here against authoritative tendencies that Mr. Trump is doing. So, along that line about authoritative tendencies, as I said, we had ICE on the street in Aurora, and here's the mayor of Aurora standing with the community there against ICE, just doing random, I'm going to use the word random, and that's what they were, a random type of pickups. And that's not what we want. And I know some churches are standing up. I'll show you that another day, telling ICE that they can't come in the church settings. We don't want our religious community doesn't want a disturbance of worshipers and their congregants. So we got to stand up. And I don't have any news on any ICE sightings in the western suburbs in Aurora. right now, but there was some last week on Thursday, and we talked about that. Uh, this Saturday, there's going to be No Kings Rally in Geneva, Illinois, and that's going to be on Randall Road at Glen Eagle Drive from 11:30 to 1. There's another rally in Aurora at McCarty Park from 12 to 2, from 12 to 2 at McCarty Park. And there's rallies in Naperville and other cities. So, and I know there's a rally in Chicago. I don't know what time that is. I know some friends said they want to go down to Chicago. Okay, they like to go down to Chicago. But anyway, this rally, and I've been to a couple of these, and they've been very good and non-violent. This is not violence. This is not anything. No, unless some outside agitator gets in there, which is always possible. But these are non-violent. These people have very good signs. My sign is going to be what I had last time, and I think I told you. No king but Jesus. That's my sign. People have different signs, and it's a very interesting crowd. So I encourage you to go out. It's a positive event to show you what you think about the current situation. No kings this Saturday. So we'll see if Mr. Trump can bring peace to our city, or is he a divider? He could have immigration reform and bring this all to a halt. But I don't think he does. I don't think he wants that. It's my thought, but if he does, it'd be great. And let's just see what's going to happen in our country. And we'll pray for the Middle East that it keeps moving ahead too on this peace, ceasefire peace agreement. And we'll learn more about it in the next days here. So thank you for listening with me now, and till we meet again, we'll till we meet again, that's what we say. And I'm going to put this up 1 minute. This is a group that on your refugee rights. So remember that group, ICIRR.org, ICIRR.org, to know your immigration rights. So till we meet again, and this is only Monday. We're moving ahead here, and the Bears play their football game, and our Cubbies lost. So that's why we don't have a Cubby hat on tonight. And so we'll see you then on Wednesday, Lord willing. And for right now, we're just going to say bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.